Okay.
And then you got the red down there, so
Yeah.
we're good to go.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm still perplexed as to my phone.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. We asked you here this evening because we wanted to give you a little bit more information about the honors programs and the AP programs so that it would maybe help you plan schedules for next year. My name is Barbara Golland, and I teach AP English Literature here at the high school. Sometimes, let me say this first. I want you to know that we care about your children. And it's an honor to teach them. We love this school. And this is what I almost started with, but I wanted to get that out there first. Sometimes people wonder why we push, promote, and do everything we can to get students into our AP classes. And truly, we don't make extra for that. They require more training, more planning, more grading, all of those things. The reason why we feel so passionately about AP classes is because we believe that those classes give students an educational opportunity and also the skills that will help them no matter what they do, whether they go to college, whether they go to technical school, or straight into the workforce. That's why it means so much to us that students take these AP and honors classes. Honors, just to say, used to be called pre-AP, but now they're just called honors classes. But honors classes prepare students for that step into AP classes just like pre-AP classes used to. So this evening, we will tell you a little bit about our programs and our classes. We have a few former students who will tell you about their experiences with AP and then after high school and what it meant to them. But first, I'd like to introduce Dr. Suzanne McCray, Dr. Suzanne McCray, who is the Vice Provost of Enrollment and Dean of Admissions for the University of Arkansas.
I am so so pleased to be here. I am telling you that at the University of Arkansas, we love AP. We even have t-shirts that have U of A, Heart, AP, when we have gone into schools to do presentations and awards and things like that. So we are big fans. You can ask Matt Hargis right back here, University of Arkansas Director of Recruitment. You have an insider right here from the University of Arkansas who can answer questions for you as well as I can. But I can tell you that I've been a fan for AP for a very long time. The University of Arkansas has a thing called the Advanced Placement Summer Institute, which we created about 22 years ago. I was part of that creation because we wanted to connect with teachers and help train them as part of the AP program. So why do we love AP? Because it gives kids a head start. Because it has them thinking along the lines of what the demands are in college. Now, are AP classes going to be so hard that you're not going to be able to do well? That has not been our experience. Kids get into AP, they love AP, they connect with their peers, and they really engage in the subject matter. Now, at the university and at most schools, we're not saying take every AP class. We don't want students to overload themselves, but get engaged. Take these classes. You're going to learn some really cool things. The landscape of college admission is changing. You know that. COVID forced us into some things, right? So we went test optional. Now that's ACT and SAT test optional. We are not AP test optional, right? Of course we are, it is optional. But AP classes now we think of as more reliable than scores like ACT and SAT in some ways for admission purposes only. Because, and for scholarships, AP is also something that people review. When you fill out the scholarship application, and I would encourage everybody in here, you wouldn't be in here if you weren't scholarship material or honors material. I would encourage you all to fill out the scholarship application. One of the things we ask on there, how many AP classes did you take? Now we don't, after 5, we think you're in it. Okay, you don't have to take 11 or whatever. College Board offers a raft over 30 different AP classes. You don't have to do that. But we do look to see, did you do it? Did your school offer AP? Did you take AP? Or IB or concurrent enrollment. But AP and IB, those are our favorites because we know you're in the classroom with your peers. You'll chat more, you'll engage more. Sometimes when you take concurrent enrollment, even if you take it at the University of Arkansas, which we're proud of our classes, we don't think that high school students engage in the same way as they do in a class surrounded by other high school students with a teacher who is trained to really teach a subject at the college level. We've done studies and we know students who even take just one AP class retain and graduate they retain at a higher rate and graduate on time. So we are really fans of that. So much so, and you can go on our website. We have if you just Google UARK test, you'll see in the registrar has a page. You can see what we offer. If you make a 3 or above on any AP test where we have a class comparable to that, which is most of them, we're going to give you credit at the University of Arkansas. We gave last year 27,000 hours of AP credit, okay? That represented over 2,400 individual students. And if I went out and did the math for us tonight, that's $7.5 million in tuition savings. Now, did all those kids save tuition by graduating early? They didn't, okay? What they did do was undergraduate research. What they did do was do study abroad. What they did do was get involved in really cool things like the Volunteer Action Center. Just down the street, we had a student, Coleman Warren. That may be a name you don't know, didn't go to Prairie Grove, but came to a neighbor here. He won the Rhodes Scholarship this year. he had a lot of AP credit. And what that allowed, and he gave me permission to talk about him. I worked with him on his scholarship, right? The Rhodes will give him 2 years to study at Oxford. He's interested in hunger issues, and he created an ice cream truck and makes ice cream, and he sells ice cream, high-end ice cream. People pay a lot of money for his ice cream, and then he turns that around and gives it to create meals for people who need them. And he's already given over, I forgot now what it was, over 20,000 meals, created the money. He was featured on Good Morning America. And he's just a kid from our community, right? We have lots of kids from our community who do exceptional things. And one way they start on that path to doing really cool, exceptional things. And exceptional things, it didn't have to just be a Rhodes, that level of thing. It can be getting a great internship, doing a fun co-op where you earn money while you're working and learning cool things, working for J.B. Hunt in an internship position. All these kinds of things. AP means that maybe you don't have to take some of those entry-level classes and you can do some other more cool things with the time that you're at the University of Arkansas. Now, could you come and graduate early? Yes, right? You could get some of your freshman classes out of the way by taking AP and graduate in 3 years and be off in the workforce if that's what you want to do. That's fine. But sometimes mostly students go ahead and take the 4 years. We give a lot of scholarship money. They go ahead and take the 4 years, and then they're really prepared for grad school, for medical school, law school, a job that pays big bucks they enjoy going to in the morning. Right? And parents, how many of you want one of those things for your kids? Right, yeah, both hands, right, for sure. Well, that's what we want. Kids, that's what you want. You want to be successful. You want to launch on a career path. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I will say, I'm a true believer in AP. My kids all took AP themselves. I pushed it off on my own children. One of my kids right now is a big AP student. She reads novels for a living. Which I envy her job. She drinks coffee and she's heavily caffeinated and she reads novels for a living, Tin House Publishing in Portland, Oregon. And she works remotely from here, so I get to see her, and she always recommends great novels for me to read. So that was fun, and AP got her on her start. I got another kid who studies whale sharks for a living. And he did AP Biology, AP Psychology, AP English, and he was just a regular kid. I mean, his GPA, it was a question mark about college. But anyway, got into college and then just, lit up. Found the thing he loved, and he's out chasing whale sharks, and I'm okay with that because they don't bite. Some of those other sharks I don't like so much. But anyway, so I'm just here to say, really think about AP. It's worth the effort you're going to put into it. Admissions is changing, and they look at and have always looked at AP, but are looking harder at AP, looking harder at these extra kinds of ways students engage and do well. So really think seriously about it. It's going to be worth the effort you put into it, and it can translate into scholarship money for you later and lots of other kinds of opportunities. So I'll be here after and happy to answer any other questions. Thank you.
It's May, y'all. It's May. We made it. We made it. We're on our way. Speaking of applause, I just want to say a huge thank you to our AP and honors teachers, because I'm Melanie Nations. I'm the GT coordinator. I'm the 5A GT teacher. But I literally came to them, I think it was maybe the end of April. It may have even been the first week of May. And I said, do y'all remember right before we shut down for the pandemic? And we had this great AP honors parent meeting, and they planned it all. I mean, it wasn't me. They planned it all, and I said, it was so great. And I said, Dr. McCrae came and taught, and it was really, really great. And I said, do you think we can do that this year? Maybe it's too late. I totally understand if you want to wait and do it until next year, 2022, 2023. I was totally prepared for them to say, yes, you're insane, Nations. No way in heck are we going to do this. And I mean, it was like, boom. They were like, let's do it. And I even said in a couple emails, are you sure you want to do this? Because we can wait, right? And so when Mrs. Gollin stood up here and told you that they really cared, they really do. Because they were willing to plan this in a matter of weeks and make it where we could have this for you this evening. Have it for you, have it for your child, have it for your family. So I think we definitely, and even just for just being a teacher and surviving this year and last and just getting through it all, I think they deserve a round of applause. So. All right, so I am here to just talk to you about maybe some things for you to think about, to kind of frame your thinking, maybe give you some lenses to consider, to kind of look through as we give you some information this evening. And you've already gotten some great information from Dr. McCrae. And I can tell you as a parent, I have a daughter who has already benefited from what she has described, and very appreciative and thankful for it. And I know that I'm not alone. There are probably many of you who, through the U of A and through other colleges and universities in the state of Arkansas, you probably know somebody who's benefited from taking those AP exams and getting that college credit, right? So I am always here to talk to you as a GT coordinator. I'm always here to talk to you as a parent. I give you those two perspectives. But to go ahead and move on, I'm going to talk to you about those lenses and those things that I want you to consider. So, there we go. That's what I thought. And we pretty much covered that. So we can keep on going. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can just stand here. Okay, so before we discuss the why, think about your child, okay? Think about what are the college career goals of your child? What are their interests? What can they handle in terms of their workload? And that, to me, is really the most important thing to keep in mind this evening, right? We're about giving you information tonight. We're about helping you understand what opportunities are out there. And then you make the choices with your child as to what is best for him, her, and your family, right? So please keep that in mind tonight. All right, so the next thing is to talk about, why? Why should you even consider honors? Why should you even consider AP from now, a PGHS perspective? So we've gotten a collegiate perspective, but now let's talk about at the high school level. So the curriculum of honors here at PGHS provides depth and complexity, which really helps prepare you for your AP classes. So you can almost think of honors classes as like a training ground, like testing the waters kind of thing. It's a highly engaged classroom environment. It's where you're going to be doing maybe more authentic learning, more inquiry than you would at the regular classroom level. All right? Higher expectations, and ACT prep is provided. And I'm going to tell you from a parent's perspective, when I see that, the antenna go up. And I'm like, okay, right? Now, it does also open up more future options in terms of your course selection. And to me, once again, this is always thinking about not only short term, but you got to think about long term. And I strongly believe in that, not only as a GT coordinator, but as a parent. And so you've got to always be thinking about what you're doing now. What does it provide for you next semester? But then what does it provide for you 2-3 years down the road? And then why AP? Why should you consider it? So we've got several reasons here. It's a program provided by College Board. Okay. So if you don't know what that is, AP is Advanced Placement. College Board essentially is the organization that provides it. And they provide collegiate level courses essentially on a high school, in a high school environment. And each course ends with your child taking an AP exam. So whenever Dr. McCrae was talking about that 3, 4, and 5, right? If you score a 3, 4, or a 5, then potential college credit may be made available to you. There's no cost here in the state of Arkansas to take the exam. So that's another thing to maybe think about, right? And exams are taken during the school day, they're taken in May. And so then, that's that forward thinking. Like if you get a 3, 4, or 5, then you get some college credit coming your way. Looks good on scholarship applications, right? So it's just a good thing too because you're getting those skills, those college skills that you need to prepare you for college. Also, the thing that I always like to see is that those Arkansas teachers, they have to get trained to teach the class. They get a lot of support, they get a lot of resources, they get a lot of training. And so every 5 years, they have to renew their training and renew that certificate. So you're getting teachers who are knowledgeable in their curriculum, and they understand it at a deep level. And so if you have a child who needs that deeper learning, that complexity, and learning about concepts, and learning about the big ideas, and trying to make those huge connections, then this is something to consider. So I put this up here. It is from College Board, admittedly, but it says research consistently shows that AP students are better prepared for college than students who don't take AP, regardless of their exam score. They're more likely to enroll and stay in college, do well in their classes, and graduate in 4 years. Regardless of that, you just get a taste of college. Like if you're sitting there going, I don't know if I'm gonna go, I don't know if I want to. Take an AP class. You're gonna have to pay tuition for it, right? So it might be a good way to test the waters there again. Allow students to be exposed to the pace and rigor of collegiate courses as well. And like I said, develop those collegiate skills. I've already mentioned that. And then also, I mean, I know with my own daughter, in a lot of ways it helped her discover her passions, and then helped her discover other passions that she didn't know that she had. She always thought that she was very much a literacy person, and then she discovered that she had passions for science and passions for math that she had no idea that she had if you talked to her when she was in junior high. And so now she's at the U of A with a double major in English and then in earth sciences. So, you know, but she wouldn't have had that probably if she had not had this opportunity to take AP classes here at PGHS. Alright. Now, the other thing to think about here, thinking on this PGHS level, is that study halls are available to students who have at least 2 AP classes on their schedule. So that's another thing to think about. Like I said, think about your child. Think about how your child handles workload, right? Is this something that makes you think, okay, this is manageable, something to consider. And then our AP teachers, honors teachers, they provide tutoring morning, afternoon, and so they're here to help and support. And so now we're going to have some student testimonials for you, and I'm going to let Ms. Mitchell kind of introduce them to you. And so,
hello, I'm Donna Mitchell. I teach advanced placement calculus here at the high school. And we have 3 students, well, 2 past well, actually all 3 are graduates now. So Wesley Key is he just graduated this last weekend, and he's going to come speak. And then we have 2 sophomores in college right now who took AP while they were here at high school. We have Atticus Warren, he's at the U of A, and then we have Cade Mitchell, no relation at all. You won't be able to see anything. Anyways, he's at Arkansas Tech University, and I'll let them explain what their career goals are and their education and why they love AP. I'll let you guys come on up.
I'll start first. So thank you everybody for coming out. I first want to talk about the environment of AP classes. And with the environment of AP classes, especially in high school, they're a lot smaller. I've had less distractions in those AP classes. And with that being said, a lot of those classes, they have a lot of like-minded people. So if you're willing to connect with people who are passionate about those same subjects as you, that's a very good idea. And also, I guess that a lot of the time when you're around those people, they're willing to help you as well. And I've also been in those classes to where, I've had those people, like, we stay after school, or we go, to a house and study, we're willing to lift each other up. And these teachers as well, they're willing to put in the work provided. They're willing to help you with your grade. They are willing to stay after school and dedicate their time and effort to you. And another reason is that, well, okay, sorry, I'm just, so, I just had this down. The work ethic provided. A lot of the work ethic is improved with AP, and it's been shown. And a lot of these classes that are advanced classes, they have higher class averages. And a lot of these teachers can agree with me that their AP classes or their honors classes have higher grades. And I know Ms. Golan has talked to us about that before, because these teachers are willing to put in the effort, same as students. These students are hardworking, and they will make sure their grades are good. And with that environment, you're not with anyone that's distracting you. You're not with anybody that is going to throw you off. You're not with anybody that is going to distract you in any way where your grade is going to drop. And with that, with having the work ethic provided, it's not only for college classes, but also in the workforce. If you're working, let's just say in a marketing field, that's where I want to major in. I took AP Cal with Ms. Mitchell, AP Stats with Mr. Hubbard, and I'm definitely going to start out college very strongly because I'm most likely going to pass AP Cal. I've already passed AP Stats. And that being said, a lot of these classes will make sure that you are going to pass those college classes as well. And I took a placement for the math and said that I was prepared for calculus in college as well. So, good thing there too. It does prepare you guys.
Hi, I'm Atticus Warren. I am an engineering major at the U of A, and AP prepared me for a lot of my classes that I had to take. I took AP Chemistry and Calculus while I was here, and while I didn't pass the exam, the familiarity from the content that we did in class really helped in the courses that I had to take at the U of A. Like, I was really familiar with a lot of the things that we went over. And even if you're not going to go into engineering, other AP courses here also provide a lot of help with general education classes, like ones that I had to take my freshman year. Things like history and ethics and other things like that. A lot of those classes, their finals are big essays. And because of my AP classes, I was able to crank those babies out in 6 hours rather than taking 2 to 3 days. And I was able to get pretty good grades for them.
I'm Kate Mitchell. I'm a Fisher's Wildlife Science and Environmental Science major at Arkansas State University. And for AP courses here, it's really the student-to-student relationship and the student-to-teacher relationship is a great thing, because I don't think I've had a single other student that I've been like, hey, what exactly is happening? Even if they have no idea what's going on, they'll go, let's find out. We have no clue, so let's try and figure it out together. And then if we can't figure it out, go to our teacher. They'll always answer us no matter what happens. So you're always going to be able to find help anywhere you go, and you'll be able to get it done. For my courses, I have to do a shocking amount of writing for a science field. The number of papers I've had to write is incredible. And I didn't even pass but one of my AP English exams. So I was able, but they helped me so much in my writing. And since I only passed one, I still had to take Comp 2, and instead of Comp 1, I got to pass. But Comp 2 felt like a breeze compared to the stuff Ms. Warren and Ms. Collin put me through. My teacher literally told me to stop writing so much because she didn't want to grade that much. I was like, okay, man, you got it. But, yeah, it's really helped me in my courses, and even in classes like zoology, where writing has helped me, and AP Bio has helped me, and even some calculus has helped me because of the math that we have to do.
We appreciate you guys giving up your time. They came from jobs and other activities to get here, so we do thank you for that.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to have the teachers come up and talk to you about their courses. So I don't know who wants to go first.
This is the English crew. I'm Brandy Walls. I teach 10th grade honors. Miss Sprick, who teaches 9th grade, she has a daughter who's about to graduate, so she couldn't be here. Biggest thing that we want to convey is that honors is legitimately just dipping your toes in before you get to AP land. Okay, so we're just preparing you. I think a lot of students are apprehensive about taking it because they think it's going to be too difficult. That is not the case. It is not overwhelming at all. I do not give homework. Okay, we do everything in class. The only way you would have homework is if you did not use your class time wisely, so you kind of wanted it, okay? But the biggest difference is essays. Like you learn to write AP essays. I will model one for you overhead so you can know how to do it. I step by step it with the students. I do not ever throw them out there like you're already supposed to know this, so go. You know, we do not do that, okay? Ms. Sprick does not, and I do not. It is not overwhelming. I don't want students to think that they cannot do it, because if they are willing to try, just like Wesley said, like, and the other boys too, like, your grades are gonna be protected. We will help you. If you choose to take those classes, you're gonna be okay. You know, if you try, you're gonna be okay.
My name is Michael Warren, and I teach AP Lang. And we kind of we work together, and so like we rotate AP Lit and AP Lang every year, and so you know you might have one year and one the next, depending on how it lands. Like next year is AP Lit, and we just finish up AP Lang. But we also work with your kids. We don't just throw the first essay out. Like we plan, we model, we do all those things. So we're not just, we try everything we can do to help your kids be successful in our classes. We also, like she mentioned, tutoring. I do morning tutoring for AP or any English student, and Ms. Walls does afternoon. So there's lots of opportunities for extra help if your child needs it. We also don't do a huge amount of homework because we know that kids that are in AP are usually in multiple AP classes, and they're usually in band and choir and track and this and that and the other, and so they're busy people, and we know that. So we try to honor that. For AP Lang is mostly nonfiction, and then there are compositions that go with that, like rhetorical analysis and argument writing and that kind of thing. And then AP Lit is mostly novels, poetry, that kind of thing, and essay writing that goes with that. And so the most like for AP Lit, it'll be reading. That's most of the homework. Reading a novel, so many pages by, usually you have a couple weeks to get it done. And that's the same for AP Lang. Whatever homework I give is usually, they have a couple weeks to do it. And those are some of the things those are the skills that we're talking about when we talk about with AP, that it teaches you to prioritize, to manage time, to figure out when to do this because I have this due here. And that's just a good life skill no matter what you're going into. So we just wanted to introduce ourselves and kind of give you an idea. And if you have other questions later, you can ask us. That's just the gist of English.
Well, hello. My name is Miss Altman. I am one of the AP Science teachers. We have another a lady who does AP Science, but she's currently manning the dugout at a T-ball game. So I'm much happier to be here. But here at PGHS, we offer AP Bio, AP Chem, AP Physics, and AP Environmental Science. And biology and chemistry both come with like an honors class, but you don't technically have to do like regular physics to go into the AP Physics, and there is no regular environmental science. You just kind of wind up in it. It's a fun class. But I had a couple of things that I wanted to just briefly let y'all know. So I don't know about you, a lot of parents, but whenever I took science in high school, it was super duper boring. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of nods. Science is not boring. And I didn't learn that till I got to college. And I didn't have the opportunity to take advanced science classes in high school, and I think maybe that's why. Because science is weird. There's a lot of prerequisite knowledge that you have to have before you can get to the good science and the cool science. And I feel like in our honors classes and in our AP classes especially, we're able to move quickly through the prereq knowledge to get to the good and cool science. And it makes me really happy to hear that people who've taken AP Science are doing college science stuff. But I'm not super surprised, because the good science is the higher level science, and you just don't really get to that in the regular classes, just because there's not enough time. Also, I always heavily recommend advanced science classes and advanced math classes, because it's kind of where like technology and all of that is the future. And like, you have to have a good science knowledge, you have to have a good math skill to get a lot of jobs that are really high paying. So just having a good foundation in math and science will get you a lot in life, even if we're not talking about college. Let's see. Oh, so I teach all of biology. Like, I teach the on level, I teach the honors, and I teach AP. So like, your children will have me at some point. they will filter through me. But so I was just piddling around with my grade book today, and just out of curiosity, I pulled up my semester averages, and my on level and my honors, there's a 10-point difference in the semester average for the whole entire class. So like, my semester average for the on level is a D. It's a high D, but it's a D. But my honors is a really high C, like a 79, and so half the kids have above that grade. So something to think about as well. And my invisible associate was gonna tell you guys this, but so a couple of years ago they changed some of the science curriculum, I don't know, standards, thank you. It's been a long day. So they changed some of the science standards so that once you get past biology, you kind of have a choice with your chemistry. So we have honors chemistry and we have integrated chemistry. And this is a long way for a lot of you, it's your junior year, but just so this is something that you guys are aware of. Once you get past biology, you kind of have to make a little bit of a choice, because integrated chemistry is functionally physical science too. And honors chemistry is, hey, I'm trying to go to college. Because integrated chemistry, the regular on-level chemistry, will not prepare you for college chemistry at all. And it is not a prereq for college chemistry. So if your kid's gonna go to college, and even if they're not going to do a science class, they may have to take a random chemistry class. You may be having to pay money for them to take high school chemistry in college, because integrated chemistry is not a prereq for Chem 1 or for Chem 1400 in college. So like, that happened to me. I did not take chemistry in high school because I was going to be a writer. And then I figured out how cool science was. But so I had to take Chem 101. I had to pay $4,000 to take high school chemistry in college, because I did not take the appropriate chem class that was a prereq for my college chem. So just something to keep in mind, that if in your child's future there ever is going to be a college chemistry class, they need to be in the honors chem. And honors bio is a good way to get ready for honors chem. Because I will see most of you a lot sooner than the honors chem people will. And I have these kids right now. So, yeah, okay. I think that was all I was supposed to say.
Alright, so I'm just going to kind of speak for our math team. This is Sarah Lawhorn. She teaches the honors geometry, and Evan Hubbard teaches the honors algebra 2, and then AP statistics when we offer it. And then, like I said, I teach the honors pre-calculus, and then AP calculus AB, and then every now and then we'll have a kid take AP calculus BC. And so we kind of more or less do it through an independent study that I facilitate for that student, because it's usually just one or two and they fit it best into their school, their schedule. So, and Miss Nation's daughter was one of those that did that, and it worked out really well. I would just like to say that for the math classes, we have found that, the environment you've heard is a lot more conducive to learning. But what we also find out is that the kids have a lot more fun. There's good competition. The kids they're feeding off of each other in these honors classes. And I would say that in the calculus class that I taught this year, I heard several students say, "This is the most fun I've ever had in a math class." And you're probably thinking, that's crazy.
I agree.
That's crazy in a calculus. But it's kind of like what Miss Altman said about the science. You have to learn the basics before you can really get into some of the fun and the cool stuff. And in Algebra 2, which is typically like that crux class for a lot of people, college algebra seems to be the gateway class. There's a lot of rules you have to learn. And kids hate rules. You guys know that. But you have to learn them. And then we get to put them into action and apply them. And that's when they really see how neat it is, how much fun. Something I wanted to bounce off that Miss Altman said, you don't know, especially you kids, you might be planning, I'm going to do this. You might change your mind while you're in college and change your major. And so if you take some of those honors courses and then some of those AP, it definitely helps. I have a son who just finished his junior year at the U of A and now has decided he wants to change his major. And he was in a math degree. He was wanting to become a sports statistician, so he was focusing in statistics because he found a passion in AP statistics. But then he decided, no, I think I want to go into civil engineering. And so he's switching. But thanks to, and like Project Lead the Way, the program we have here at our school, and other AP, he's not going to suffer as much, and he was better prepared for the change in the sciences that he had to take due to his change of major. So that's something that you want to think about. We do offer a lot of tutoring, and more importantly, we in the math department really strongly try to help kids learn from their mistakes. We do have that nurturing environment where we're going to help you. There's chances to do quiz corrections and things like that, so you can learn from those mistakes and correct those concepts in your mind, because what we teach, we build off of each other. Now, as they go up in their math classes, they may start out with a little bit less homework, but sorry, we can't say the same as some of the others. There's just going to have to be some practice that's put in, even outside of class time. But
in geometry specifically, I do long-term assignments, so I get to kind of train kids how to manage and kind of help them. Are you on track? Are you behind? Are you ahead? There are some kids that will go home and do the assignment like that day, but we get to kind of help them manage their time for the long-term assignments.
Yeah, and a lot of the other honors classes, like we'll have kids do assignments for a whole week and then turn it in the following Monday. So if they have a game that night and they just can't get to it, they still have a chance. If they can't get to tutoring on Monday morning, but they could on Wednesday morning or whatever, there's that opportunity so that they get that help. We encourage kids to start on the honors track early with math because it opens more doors. more opportunities of the different kinds of math that you can take. And if you don't start on the honors track early, there is a chance to double up. Only one time you can take geometry and algebra 2 at the same time. Those are the only maths that you could double up until you get to some of the highest level maths when you have the prerequisites that you need. And we see a big difference in ACT scores for students who take the higher level maths. I just took this year's junior ACT data that we had, and for the students who were in either the honors pre-calculus or the AP calculus, they scored on average 7.5 points higher on their math ACT score than the students who were not at that junior level. So it does, like she said, the ACT prep, it's embedded in those classes. We really are able to teach kids better critical thinking skills and go deeper into the curriculum in our classes. Anything else y'all want to add? Again, we appreciate y'all coming.
I'm Coach Roy, this is Coach Ed. We kind of tag team the AP history classes. Coach Ed teaches AP World, and I teach AP US History. And I'm a little biased, obviously, since I teach AP Bush and I've taught AP World, but I like the phrase, you gotta know where you've been and know where you're going. And I think history is important because of that. To give you an understanding of not only what's going on in our country, but like Coach Ed teaches with this big world view, and understanding those connections that got us from point A to Z. And so both of us are passionate about history. My wife tells me I have a problem because now I've got added another bookshelf in the house of books. And I try to bring that into the class. I started a program this year where, not really a program, but this idea of letting students check out books. And so like we incorporate different books that I've read and put it into the lesson, and it's been really encouraging to watch students check out books and come back and talk to me about it. That's obviously not required, but once again, just kind of getting that deeper understanding. To sell AP World, it's a great course in the sense that you can get your head somewhat wrapped around, what's going on in the rest of the world, and I think that's very important. We sometimes get too focused on like the United States is just the center of everything, and while I do believe we're important, understanding those around us too help us make those global and even local connections. With AP US, I would highly stress your student take it, and here's why. Level US history, nothing against Arkansas Department of Ed, but it starts in 1890 and ends in the present. That's like opening up a book halfway through and try to figure out what's going on. And AP US History, we start in 1607 and we go all the way to the present. And that gives them more of a true lens as to why we've gotten to where we are today, because they can understand the past. And then finally, selling AP classes. Yes, you want your students to pass. I'm competitive and I like to see my students pass. But that's not the main reason to take the classes. These fine young men, I had all three of them in class, would tell you, and they did a great job, and probably a better job than I'm doing. It prepares you for college. And that rigor, and just, if you can figure out what your passion is for taking the AP classes, and as Wesley said, the environment is much more learner-friendly in the AP classes than maybe some of the level classes. So that's my 2 cents worth.
Probably the most important thing for me is coach and myself. We both coach. We have full schedules. We do other things other than teach, AP and level history classes and so what we basically do is try to show the students and give the students opportunity that we want them to take AP, but it doesn't necessarily have to be their whole life. They can still get that high school experience. They can still take care of the extracurriculars, as many teachers have talked about. Time management, organization, those types of things really go a long way. And if you're trying to do the extracurriculars, your sports, your band and things like that. I think we all try to accommodate students in that respect too. Because we do want them to take AP, but we do also want them to enjoy high school. You know, again, I always tell kids, you know, college is for pulling the all-nighters and things like that. So, you know, we like to give kids the opportunity to do as much as they can possibly handle in high school and get kind of the best of both worlds.
I don't want to sell myself short. So that's AP World, AP US History. I also teach AP Government. And I'm really pushing that class. Now, the COVID kind of messed that up for all of us. But things that we have done in the past, we weren't able to do that year with the pandemic and all that. We are going to not just study government, but understand the process of government and understand that voting is not the only way that you can make a difference, and understand the political process. Next year, moving forward, with the blessing of admin, and I think they'll probably go for it since we're not worried about COVID as much. Our goal is to go to a trial, take your classes on a field trip, and in addition to that, have a mock trial. We go all the way through signing discovery to working your way through depositions to having attorneys, plaintiffs, and Jerry Lovelace, local attorneys, can come in and be the judge, and I think that will be really good for them to learn that process, because most of them will serve on a jury at some point in their life. And so I really push that class as well, and in my opinion, after teaching all three of these courses, it is by far and away the easiest one to pass. So if they want to pad their GPA their senior year, the great thing about AP Government, in a lot of states it's only a semester class, in Arkansas it's a year, and so we get to do a lot of these extra things with it. We finish the book by February, and then they have 3 months to review and get ready. So there's my sales pitch.
Hello, I'm Michael Ferguson. I teach the AP Music Theory class. And just to tell you, before I talk about the class, just to add on to their testimonials, my two children are, one just finished college and one is about to. And both were heavily involved in the AP programs at their high school. And sure thankful for my daughter, who decided she wanted to go to a really expensive private school in the Northeast. And she's actually a combination of her being an extraordinary good student, but also all of her AP credits that she had going in. She's finishing a semester early, which is saving mom and dad quite a bit of money. So I'm a big supporter of the program in general, personal. But my class that I teach, AP Music Theory, is a bit of a specialized class. It is most helpful if a student is involved in a music program at the time, or at least leading up to it, because there is a lot of information that is just kind of taken for granted that you know. We do review it all at the beginning, but there's just a whole lot of music information that if you walk in having never looked at a piece of music or played any music, sang any music, it's a little overwhelming. So most are involved in music before they start the class, but not all of the students that take that class are planning on having a career in music. Most that take the class actually aren't. We have a few that do end up majoring in music, but a lot of students that take the AP Music Theory class are just, they love music, and it's an AP class that they can take, and many schools will then apply it to you. You have some elective classes that you're asked to take, and they can apply that in their elective area. But yeah, it's not required that this is only for kids that are planning to go to college and major in music. It explores how music is composed, created, and a little bit of history, There is some singing involved in it. Some kids walk in the first day, and when I tell wait, I'm a trumpet player. I didn't, so there is some performance that's involved in it also. It's not required that you're in any other ensemble, whether it's choir, band, or anything like that, but it is helpful if you do have some experience before that. Ms. Mitchell asked me to speak a little bit about AP Art. We also offer that. And I can't tell you a whole lot of personal experience because I am not a visual artist at all. But it is much of kind of the same thing that music theory is, in that you're exploring how art is created and a little bit of the history of that creation of art. Now, instead of an exam like all the other traditional AP classes have at the end of the year, where you take a 3-hour-long exam, the AP Art instead has a portfolio that you create throughout the year. This big collection of the art that you've created in that class over the year is then submitted, I guess, digitally.
I think they do mail Sunday too.
Oh, they have to physically send in, and anyway, then that is evaluated with a rubric, like everything else, to come up with that score. Probably there are some prerequisites. You would probably want to have taken at least an art class or two before you jump right. I mean, that would be like literally jumping into the very, very deep end, and if you've not ever had an art class before, to take AP Art. So.
Dr. McCrae is going to come back up. She wants to talk to you about weighted credit, which I think is definitely something that maybe you guys know about already and might have some questions. And then she's going to lead us into Q&A after that. So, thank you. Okay.
Just wanted to say that Arkansas greatly values AP credit. And so we have a system of evaluation of AP credit in the state. And if you get a B in an AP class, you still get a 4.0 for that B. And if you get an A in the class, you get a 5.0. So taking a challenging class in this way, you're protected because of this weighted credit. University of Arkansas and other schools in our state, we accept that weighted credit for AP, IB, and concurrent enrollment. So, do challenge yourself, because one, if you get an A, then you may make up for another grade in another class or something like that, because you get that 5.0 A. And that'll really help you as you apply for admission, you apply for scholarships, to have that opportunity to have weighted credit. So I would really encourage that. The other thing I wanted to say too, I read a study just a couple of days ago about kids who score a 2, and I'm pretty sure that's what we were talking about. Not passing is score a 2, because 3 and above you're going to get credit at a lot of schools. But there are studies that show scoring a 2, you're very well prepared for the class you're going to take. You're not exempt from the class, or you didn't get credit for the class, but you're extremely well prepared for being successful in that class. And we think that's a huge thing too. So the class itself is the thing of value, and then because of the level of preparation. And then the scores, they can help you get credit as well, and graduate a semester early and save a lot of money. Now at the University of Arkansas, I do want to say about that, Ms. Altman, you could have gotten that chemistry class for a third at the U of A. Just want to say. But anyway, okay, we'll open it up to question and answers. Any questions you have, we've got a lot of people here to answer your questions. So, yeah.
Just to clarify on credits, you may only know U of A, you might know more broadly some more universities, but does that count towards credit hours for your degree, or is it just for placement?
It depends on the school. There are some schools that do not give, just to be fair, it depends, Dartmouth is a famous example of a school that doesn't give AP credit. They want you to take their classes, you're gonna take their classes. So as you're applying for schools and you come in with a lot of AP credit, I would take a look. But I will tell you, there are 26 states like ours that have AP agreements or state laws that say with the 3, you're gonna give credit. If you're a public institution, now they don't control private institutions. So most public institutions, public universities are gonna give AP credit. Some also give placement, so that if you get, for some schools, the credit starts at 4s and 5s, and if you get a 3, that'll be a placement into honors at that university. So you just want to get out, everybody has a page like ours where they have a sheet that says, here's what you're getting credit for these scores. So, yeah, but I think, and if you decide to go to Dartmouth, you're going to be very well prepared for their classes. Yeah. So you don't have to repeat one, which can cost parents a lot of money too. Great question, thank you. Other questions? And again, you can ask about the school here. There are just a team of people here to answer questions.
I have another question. Sorry. Does Prairie Grove, do they offer, can you do concurrent, like your senior year, instead of
Yes,
AP if you
yes,
want to?
and Styles, would you like to talk about that? I think you would, yeah. Sure. Yeah. And in fact, Ms. Walls might be the best one to talk about concurrent credit because she is teaching our concurrent English and Harvard. So in fact, here behind me, he is doing our concurrent algebra and all staff. And so we are doing that. And you have to meet certain qualifications, you have to have certain test scores in order to be enrolled in those. But yes, if you have more questions about those specific courses, please start with Ms. Wall.
One thing I just wanted to add with your AP, you were asking about credit. Depending on the score, sometimes students can get like honors credit. It's like I know my daughter got a 5 on the AP count, and so she got credit for honors calculus in college. So sometimes that helps. And if they want to go into the honors college, then there's one of their honors classes taken care of.
We do that. We give honors credit for higher scores, for sure. And a lot of schools like ours also still use ACT, even those that have gone test optional, use ACT for scholarships, for some of their scholarships and for programs or for placement. And so getting this free ACT prep, that's really awesome. I didn't know about that. I learned that tonight. That's really cool. Other questions? Your opportunity, and of course we'll be here after too if you want to ask individually, but if you have a question, it's really likely your neighbor has the same questions. You know they're cupcakes, right?
Well, if you do not have any other questions at this time, once again, like Dr. McCray said, we are here and we'll stay around for a bit so that you can ask us questions individually if you need to. You can also get in touch with me, melanie.nations@pgtigers.org, or you can get in touch with any of our AP Honors faculty via email, and we will answer your questions and be more than happy to do so. So thank you very much for coming tonight. And thank you, Dr. McCray.
We're gonna go talk to the honors table.